Just this year, Adam Schiff's Democrats pushed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. off the ballot in New York over his debates about his various residencies. Would they dare hold these same standards up to Adam Schiff? Joining us now to discuss the exclusive details is best-selling author and investigative journalist Seamus Bruner, author of Controligarchs. Seamus, welcome back.
Hey, Chanel, it's great to be with you. Yeah, Adam Schiff is in a world of trouble if the legal system is fair. I know that this complaint has been submitted to multiple U.S. House agencies and to the House Judiciary, House Ethics, and House Oversight Committee. And it's true, Adam Schiff has been checking the box principal residence on multiple mortgage applications in 2 different states. You can't live in 2 places at once as your principal residence, and mortgage fraud is a serious crime.
Walk us through the timeline for this. I know that this is coming from a variety of documents that are, verifiable through public records, but walk us through the timeline here. Where do we start?
Yeah, so this all starts really around 2001, between 2001 and 2003. Adam Schiff is from California. He gets elected to Congress, and then he starts commuting, like you laid out in the intro here. He then sells his condo in Burbank, California, and buys a place in Maryland. And so on that box of his mortgage application in Maryland, he checks, "This will be my principal residence." But then he buys a condo in Burbank, and then he checks the box, "This will be my principal residence in Burbank." And so when he's checking these boxes in Maryland, principal residence, he's potentially committing voter fraud in California because throughout 2006, 7, 8, and 9, his voter registration documents say he's living in Burbank. And so he goes back and forth checking these boxes all the way up through a refinance in 2013 of his Maryland property, saying that this is my principal residence. And so it doesn't make sense. How could you be living in both places at once? And I'm glad you mentioned the financial benefits. It's not just the lower mortgage interest rates. You get a lower interest rate on your primary residence. It's also the lower property taxes. You get a homestead exemption. It's also, you get lower insurance rates on your primary residence. And then there's also the federal tax returns with the mortgage interest deduction. And so there's all kinds of financial benefits for doing this. It's not clear whether Adam Schiff got sloppy or greedy, possibly both, but this is a big problem. There was a conviction of a Baltimore state attorney, Marilyn Mosby is her name. She was convicted for mortgage fraud for a very similar circumstance. As you mentioned, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Democrats tried to kick him off of the ballot, or successfully did, in New York for a similar residency discrepancy. And there's a host of other people who have had this problem of declaring 2 primary residences in places where they're actually not living full time.
Now, I have reached out to the Schiff campaign for comment about this story. We have, and they've yet to respond as of this broadcast. What has Adam Schiff said in response to this explosive allegation?
Yeah, so I mean, this really became a public news story back in 2009 with a bunch of other Congress members who were doing this. Doris Matsui, who is from California, she was in big trouble for declaring residency both in Maryland and in California. A bunch of congressmen have gotten into this problem before. Back in 2009, Schiff was mentioned for this because he's been doing it for that long. And he said, he actually admitted, "Oh, I made a mistake." Now, you can't make a mistake and profit financially from that mistake without consequences. But nonetheless, Nancy Pelosi was in charge of the House, back then.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.